will start the show from the home front and tell you that Abia Warriors sporting director Emeka Ifegiawa has spoken glowingly of the club's readiness for the 2026-2027 Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL season, which kicked off on Friday across the country. The former Udoji United and Iwayan National centre-back also demanded the introduction of video assistant referee VAR technology in the country's domestic top flight to complement the efforts of the improved performance of the referees and also help to make the domestic football league better. Abia Warriors will get their season campaign underway against Kun Khalifa at the Eimba Stadium, Aba, their new adopted ground for their home games, and that will take place on Saturday, 30th of August 2026. In an apparent reflection of the 2025-26 season performance, where they held out strongly for a possible top 3 finish, but eventually ended in 7th position with 55 points. Emeka said the club's top 3 finish dream was cut short by injuries and late season loss of form. He also stated that the club has learned from last season's experience and shortcomings and have now put their house in order for a new push aiming to reclaim their spot in the African Interclub competition. The 2026 meanwhile National League NNL season will get underway on Saturday, October 31st. The commencement date was ratified at the league's annual general meeting AGM held in Owerri. Clubs participating in the new campaign have been divided into 4 conferences: Southern Conference A and B, as well as Northern Conference A and B. The format is expected to ensure a competitive campaign with teams battling for promotion to the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL. The top team from each of the 4 conferences will secure automatic promotion to the NPFL at the end of the season. The 4 promoted clubs will then compete in a mini tournament to determine the overall NNL champions for the 2026-2027 season. The new season is expected to witness another intense battle for promotion, with several clubs aiming to earn a place in the Nigerian top flight. Sporting Lagos, Inter Lagos, Doma United and Ranchers Bees secured promotion to the NPFL at the end of the 2025-26 season. The quartet will now test themselves in the top flight, while clubs competing in the NNL will look to follow in their footsteps by securing promotion at the end of the new campaign. Further details regarding the fixtures and other arrangements for the season are expected to be communicated to the participating clubs ahead of the October 31st kickoff. So it promises to be very competitive. You can understand why the NNL has said that the league is the most important league in Nigeria, where you have 4 conferences: Southern Conference A and B, Northern Conference A and B, and then just the top teams in all of the 4 conferences qualify to the Nigerian Premier Football League for the following season. Very competitive. Last season we saw lots of drama between Sporting Lagos, between Aqua United, a whole lot of battles going on in terms of trying to qualify. So it's very difficult. So you have to finish first in your division. That's the only way you can qualify for the NPFL. You cannot go through the back door. There is no second chance. There's no best loser position. You only finish first or you miss out on qualification to the NPFL for the following season. Still on the NNL, Bayelsa United technical advisor Abdul Mekaba has declared that his main objective is to guide the club back to the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL at the end of the 2026-2027 Nigerian National League season. Mekaba stated this after the Prosperity Boys recorded a preseason victory over the GoPro FC of Sapele as preparations intensify for the new campaign. The 2026-27 NNL season is scheduled to kick off on October 31st. Mekaba expressed satisfaction with his players' performance in the friendly, but stressed that the coaching crew is still assessing the squad ahead of the new season. The former Kano Pillars handler signed a 1-year contract with Bayelsa United with the clear mandate of securing an immediate return to the Nigerian top flight. Mekaba revealed that more than 60 players are currently in camp, with the number expected to be reduced considerably before the start of the season. Despite being drawn in what has been a competitive group, Mekaba insisted that Bayelsa United are prepared to take on every opponent in their quest for promotion. They'll compete in Conference B alongside Beyond Limit FA, Solution FC, Aqua United, Smart City FC, Right to Win FC, Doka Kairu FC, Abakaliki FC, and Ekiti United. So it's a tough one, Abdul Mekaba. You know that it is difficult to gain promotion from the NNL to the NPFL, and because of his experience, that's why Bayelsa United has appointed him in the first place. So he has the 1-year contract. If he doesn't finish the team on top of their conference and qualify them for the NPFL, which means that contract may not be renewed. But if he can achieve promotion for them, hopefully he gets a contract renewal that obviously he deserves, because these teams are not going to be easy. You have to fight your way home and away to get points on board. And at the end, it's going to be an exciting season. If there's one man who can bring back Bayelsa United to where they should be, that man has got to be Abdul Maikaba. Bayelsa United last won the NPFL sometime in 2009. So they're a very experienced side, Relegating is part of the business of the NPFL when you do not do well. After all, the Remo Stars, who won the league last season, got relegated at the end of the following season. So if a team that win the league one season can relegate the following season, it means that it can also happen to any team, even though you do not win the league. Okay, let's move on to other matters on the show. And it's still all about Gianni Infantino. Infantino's name will not leave the news any moment from now until maybe next year when the election takes place in March. The Irish Football Association says it is time for change at FIFA and they will not be voting for President Gianni Infantino's re-election next year. Infantino has been under increasing scrutiny since his aborted attempt to sell off a stake in FIFA's commercial operations to private investment company. The plans were scrapped after widespread criticism, with UEFA threatening to boycott all FIFA competitions. The IFA, the governing body for football in Northern Ireland, had previously backed UEFA's stance without formally withdrawing their support, but have now said Infantino's plan raised fundamental questions about his candidacy. In a statement, the proposal to sell part of FIFA's assets to a private equity firm without consultation represents more than a failure of communication, and in our view, it raises fundamental questions about strategy, governance, and stewardship of our assets. The football associations of England, Scotland, Wales, and Republic of Ireland have previously publicly withdrawn support for Infantino, who is scheduled to stand for a fourth term as president in March 2027. Should the 56-year-old Swiss be successful by the end of the term in 2031, his tenure would have been extended to 15 years. So this is all that is happening right now as far as FIFA and Infantino is concerned. This day you hear that some people are supporting him. The next time you hear that others are not supporting him. To be or not to be for Gianni Infantino is like a cat with 9 lives, isn't it? And it's going to be interesting to see how all of this pan out. But believe me when I say that Infantino is a very strong man. To be FIFA president is not a day's job. He's the president of football worldwide. He has 211 member associations under his belt. So for you to be FIFA president, it takes a whole lot. And he's very experienced. He's been president for many years. Whether you like it or not, there are some things Infantino has done right, although there are some things he's also done wrong, especially with FIFA rescinding the red card given to USA's Folarin Balogun. The fact that the World Cup final halftime show was too long for my liking. And a whole lot of things. Now also selling part of FIFA's stake, or wanting to sell part of FIFA's stake to a private investment company. So all of the things are the things that count against Gianni Infantino. But I'm not part of those who is going to vote. If I were to vote for Infantino, will I vote? Will I not vote for him? I'm somewhere in between. But sometimes it's good that you're not in that kind of situation, so that you don't want to be in a very tight corner, isn't it? But again, we'll see how this unfolds. Some confederations obviously are on the side of Infantino, like CAF, like CONMEBOL. Some are not on his side, but again, he needs to get a reasonable amount of people on his side for him to be able to win next year's election. All right, no time to check time on the show, so that, open the phone lines pretty much early today so that you all can join the conversation. I know people have been talking about, Julian, I want to talk about transfers today. And now that, we are making headways, our clubs are making headways in the transfer market. We're bringing in the kind of players that we want. But don't worry, I'm sure that this is the news that all Manchester United have been waiting for. Manchester United have completed the signing of midfielder Carlos Baleba from Brighton and Hove Albion. The Cameroon international joins the club club in a deal worth up to £70 million, made up of a £65 million guaranteed fee plus £5 million in add-ons, and he has signed a 5-year contract, which includes the option of a further year. Baleba is currently out injured, having picked up an ankle injury in pre-season, but he could be back by mid-September as Manchester United come face-to-face against their rivals Manchester City on September 13. Baleba's arrival at Old Trafford brings an end to a transfer saga that has lasted almost 1 year. He remained one of United's top targets this summer and becomes their third addition in midfield after Andre Santos and Yuri Tillemans. Upon the announcement of the news, Baleba took to social media to post an emotional farewell to his now former club. He says, "I came here at 19 with little English and no idea what this club could become to me," he wrote. "Brighton only asked me to be myself. The staff who make the club run so well, the teammates who took the time to understand me on and off the pitch, the nights at the Amex Stadium when I heard my name from that stand always made me feel at home. To all of the fans, staff and my teammates, you looked after me from day one, and for that I will hold you all very, very close to my heart. Wherever I play, this club is in how I play. Good luck, Seagulls." That's what Carlos Baleba took to his social media handle to write. So, I mean, this is a guy that Manchester United have been chasing for the better part of the last 1 year. A young player, 22 years. He's grown in terms of maturity, came into Brighton as a young lad, as a teenager. But now he's been able to become one of the best in his positions. I know that last season wasn't really the best, and part of the reasons why it wasn't the best was because of the transfer rumors linking him with Manchester United and all of that. Brighton were holding out for about £100 million plus for Carlos Baleba. Manchester United were not willing to pay that huge amount of money. I mean, Brighton are a club side that make transfers very difficult for buying clubs, So, but again, Manchester United have finally got their man. He's young, he's very, very athletic, he's very aggressive. He likes to press, he likes to trade in those tackles and interceptions, and I have no doubt that he'll be a fantastic signing for Manchester United. He's also come to a very big club. He's come to a traditional club, a club with history. He has also come to join a club side that has some decent players comparing to where he's coming from. In the midfield, you've got the experience of Tillemans. You've got Andre Santos, who is also young, but not as young as he is, but at least he has a bit of experience. And then you have the likes of Bruno Fernandes to also help to guide him. So he needs that guidance. He needs that cover. He needs a manager that also believes in him. He needs a club that believes in him. And that's why United have gone all the way to chase him for the last 1 year. And finally, they have their desired player. So for Carlos Baleba, he needs to work on his fitness and ensure that he's ready by mid-September. Probably he'll play a part in that game against Manchester City. Maybe he will not. But again, now that United have addressed their midfield situation, as a United fan, are you satisfied with the players now that United have brought in midfield? This was a problematic position. This was a position that Manchester United fans demanded the club sorted out, demanded new players. Casemiro left on a free transfer. He has gone to Inter Miami. Manuel Ugarte tore his ACL at the World Cup. Is going to be out for most part of the season. He was always going to be sold in the first place. And then there was a vacuum to be filled in that Manchester United midfield. So that is why the club went all out. They brought in Tillemans, they brought in Andre Santos. Those deals for those two players happened in less than a week or a couple of days now. And now United fans said, we still need another midfielder. We need a holding midfielder who understands how it is to play in that position. And that's why they've gone all out to get a Carlos Baleba. So the question now is, what is the midfield combination for Manchester United? Obviously, in preseason, what Michael Carrick has done is to pair, Tillemans and Andre Santos in a few games that I saw, and it did not work out well. It looks like those two guys, when I watch those two guys, they remind me of Scott McTominay and Fred while they were at Manchester United. That is certain United legend Roy Keane was always at these players. I remember one of his analysis I watched, and he said if the managers are there and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer walked into the studio, he's going to hold him by the shirt and say, why are you playing Fred in the middle of the park? Huge position for Manchester United. Why are you playing Fred? Why are you playing Scott McTominay together? So it looked like that is a combo of McTominay and Fred. So maybe a Carlos Baleba needs to come in. He's a natural holding midfielder. Not like Santos is also in that position, plays in that position, but hasn't really been at the races so far for Manchester United. So obviously they need help. So what will be the midfield combo? Is it going to be Baleba, or Tielemans, or is it going to be Santos and Baleba? Maybe when United will play against a Manchester City or an Arsenal, who probably have more possession of the ball and all of that. But that's Carrick's headache to think about. That's why he's paid the money. That's why he's been given the job on a permanent basis to make this big calls. But the most important thing is that Manchester United must bounce back after that chastening 2-0 loss away to newly promoted Hull City. Let's move on to other transfers on the show. Aston Villa have made initial contact with Crystal Palace for Jean-Philippe Mateta after also approaching AC Milan about signing forward Rafael Leao. Villa are working on their potential forward options, with Al Hilal pushing to sign striker Oli Watkins. Watkins was not included in the matchday squad for their 4-0 defeat to Brighton on Sunday. When asked for an explanation after the game, Villa manager Unai Emery confirmed the striker wants to leave the club. Reports have since emerged suggesting that the England striker returned to training on Monday and apologized to teammates for his absence. Mateta, who has 1 year left on his Palace deal, has been of interest to Villa since at least the last winter transfer window. The 29-year-old striker started for Palace in their 2-0 defeat to Everton at the weekend. Reports have suggested there is a gap in valuation between Villa and Palace regarding Mateta. Meanwhile, the club are serious about pursuing Rafael Leao, who has expressed an openness to move to the Premier League. Villa and Milan are in contact and will now negotiate in a bid to reach an agreement before deadline day on September 1. Leao can play as a centre forward or on the left wing and scored 9 goals and assisted 3 in 29 Serie A appearances last season. Villa are also long-term admirers of Chelsea's Nicolas Jackson, who is expected to leave before the deadline, but also has interest from Napoli and other clubs across Europe. So for Rafael Leao, he's a decent player, but again, I think that for Rafael Leao, the problem has always been his lack of consistency. He shows flashes of brilliance, especially one of the goals he scored at the World Cup for Portugal. Fantastic player. He's an athletic player. He likes to go one-on-one with defenders and all of that. He likes to run at players. He likes to cut in, shoot with his right foot. He can also cut in on the left, but again, he needs to do that on a consistent basis. That's the thing that with Rafael Leao, he has failed to show that consistency over time. And that is why, big clubs are not really coming for Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao is 27. And you feel that by now, leaving AC Milan, he should be targeting going to the Barcelonas, the Real Madrid, the Bayern Munich, all of those big clubs. But his stock hasn't really risen. I mean, he has not scored double digits in the league in the last 3 years. In 2024, he scored 9 goals in Serie A. In 2025, he scored 8 goals in Serie A. And in 2026, he scored 9 goals in Serie A. So the last 3 years, he hasn't scored double digits. And it's a worry. I mean, if you're brought in as a forward, you should at least get to double digits. And before then, the 2024 season, 2023, he scored 15 goals. 2022, he scored 11 goals. So his goals tally for AC Milan has been, neither here nor there. And having done 7 years at AC Milan, I think that the time is actually right for him to leave the club and look for greener pastures. In the last 2 years, he has scored 22 goals in 81 appearances across all competitions. Comparing to 31 goals he scored in about 95 appearances in the 2 seasons before that. So his goals just going up, coming down, fluctuating. So he needs to get those goals on a regular basis. 80 goals in total in 291 appearances across all competitions in the last 7 years since he joined from Lille in the summer of 2019-2020. And for Nicolas Jackson, he has an excellent relationship with Unai Emery. They know each other so well from their days at Villarreal. So that's a deal that could also work. Oli Watkins wants to leave. Unai Emery has confirmed that he has asked to leave many, many times. I don't know why Aston Villa are still keeping hold of a player who is not even consistent with goals. The start of the season, he struggles. Before he peaks. So when you have a striker who cannot guarantee you goals on a regular basis, he has to go on a very long goal drought before he begins to pick himself and score goals, then Aston Villa should just consider cashing in on the player. And he has said he wants to go. Allow him to go to Saudi Arabia, get as much money as you can from him and his sale, and invest it in another striker. That's the way I see it. Practically begging him to stay, for me, doesn't really make any sense. I know he has been decent for Aston Villa, no doubt about that. 278 games across all competitions in the last 6 years, and he has scored 108 goals, including scoring 21 goals in 55 games for the last season. But most of his goals usually come in the second half of the season. So Aston Villa should just sell him and try and get the Nicolas Jackson. Aston Villa need all the help they can get because this team has been depleted either by injuries or the fact that they've sold their best players. Emiliano Martinez, their goalkeeper, is also looking to leave. Konsa has left. Rogers has left. Tillemans has left. So many players are leaving, and these are key players. Onana is injured. He ruptured his ACL for Belgium at the World Cup. He's going to be out for most part of the season and all of that. So they need quality players. They need to replace the players that they have lost, so that at the end of the day, what happened to them on Sunday against Brighton at the Amex Stadium, where they were hammered 4-0, where they considered 4 goals in the space of 30 minutes, will not happen again. Because somebody said, oh, it was the red card they had. I said, that's not correct. That is not correct. Before the red card given to Joao Gomez, they had considered the 4 goals. In fact, it could have been more than that in the second half if Brighton were more clinical in the next 45 minutes. So this is something that Unai Emery has to avoid. And for him to avoid that, he needs to bring in new players. Whether he's to get Jackson, whether he's to get Rafael Leao, they also linked with Jean-Philippe Mateta as well. So they just need to get somebody who is very reliable. Brian Maggio, who is 17, is injured. Tammy Abraham is injured. So they had to use Buendia and Ross Barkley as makeshift centre forwards in that game against Brighton. So you cannot win a football game on a regular basis if you do not have a centre forward, and that is something that Aston Villa really need to work on. Let's move on to other transfer gist on the show. Tottenham Hotspur have confirmed the signing of forward Savio from Manchester City in an £85 million deal. The London club will pay an initial £75 million for the 22-year-old, with a further £10 million available in add-ons. It is understood that £5 million of the potential bonuses are effectively guaranteed, meaning City could receive at least £80 million from the deal. Tottenham have finally signed a long-term target Savio, formerly known as Savinho, at City after failing to sign the Brazilian international last summer. The forward, who will wear the jersey number 17 at the new club, previously explained that he adopted the nickname Savinho after it was printed on the back of his shirt after his first call-up to the national team. He kept it following his move from Girona to Manchester City in 2024, but has now reverted to his actual name. Savio has been registered in time to make his Tottenham Hotspur debut against Charlton Athletic in the Carabao Cup 3rd round, and if Savio does not feature against a championship side at Tottenham Hotspur, the Brazilian international could make his debut on Saturday at home against Newcastle United in the Premier League. Savio's arrival also takes Spurs' summer spending spree past the £300 million mark following the arrivals of Sandro Tonali, Matheus Fernandes and Jan-Paul van Hecke for a combined fee of £237 million. Spurs also added Andy Robertson and Marco Senesi on free transfer. Meanwhile, Savio's sale is a club record for Manchester City, surpassing Julian Alvarez's £82 million move to Atletico Madrid in the summer of 2024. So new club, new name for Savio, and he needs to do a whole lot for Tottenham Hotspur this season. I mean, they say to whom much is given, much is expected, and Savio now has got to ensure that he puts the ball in the back of the net. That's exactly what he's brought on to do. In terms of scoring goals, he hasn't really been prolific for Manchester City. When you check his stats in all competitions, 84 games in all competitions, just 7 goals. So this is not why Tottenham Hotspur have paid £85 million. Just 2 seasons at Manchester City, 7 goals across 84 matches. Very poor return. Very, very terrible. So Savio needs to show the Tottenham Hotspur fans that he can get the goals. He's a player that can run at defenders. He's left-footed, so he can play from the right. That's where he loves to play. He can also play from the left-hand side as well. So he's a versatile player. But running at defenders is not enough. Taking on players is not enough. Dribbling and all of that is not enough. Getting the goals and assists is what will make the Tottenham Hotspur fans love him very, very quickly. The Tottenham Hotspur fans are very demanding. They want their players to succeed, especially when you come for big money. So Savio, if you're listening to me now, hit the ground running very, very quickly. If you play against Charlton tomorrow, start scoring goals. If you don't play tomorrow, I think that game tomorrow will come a bit too soon for him against Charlton Athletic. Probably he plays against Newcastle United, And if you see how Newcastle United played against Liverpool, you know that this team means business. So he needs to hit the ground running, work on the training ground, try to get himself familiarized with the environment, with the culture, with what it is to stay in London, with his new teammates, with the demands of the manager. Because if there's somebody who will demand so much from a player, it is Roberto De Zerbi, especially after his team were hammered against Brentford 3-0. So he needs his new signings to hit the ground running very quickly. Their games are coming thick and fast, and Tottenham Hotspur fans will want to see the team win on the football pitch. I know it's not going to be easy because they brought in a lot of players, and these players need to gel, but some of them came quite early in preseason, and they've had enough time for them to work with the manager. Some has not had enough time, like players like Savio, but again, to whom much is given, you've got to replicate on the pitch of play. So that's just what these players will have to do. Not just Savio, but indeed the other signings that they have made. All right, let's move on to other matters on the show. If there's one player that Chelsea fans do not want to see anymore at their club, his name is Liam Delap. So Liam Delap joined Chelsea last summer from Ipswich Town for £30 million. And Chelsea fans are not happy because this guy, they felt, was a wasted money, wasted investment. They have not been able to get any returns on the investment, on the Liam Delap. And as it stands now, Chelsea fans will be happy to hear the news that Nottingham Forest have agreed a club record deal to sign the England striker from Chelsea. The transfer is understood to be worth at least £45 million, and the striker is scheduled to have a medical tomorrow. Delap had interest from a number of other Premier League clubs, including Everton, but Nottingham Forest have secured his signing. Chelsea signed Delap last summer for £30 million from Ipswich Town and valued him around £50 million this summer. They have made at least £15 million profit on the striker, who scored just 2 goals across 41 appearances in all competitions last season. The 23-year-old was not in Chelsea's squad, obviously, for yesterday's game against Fulham. So this is a big one for Chelsea. If there's one team that knows how to do business, it has to be Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea signed players for a reasonable amount of money and they slap a very high valuation on the same player. For a player that scored just 2 goals, you should expect that his valuation should reduce. But Chelsea has increased it, and that's how you must be able to do business. So this is a call to teams like Manchester United, teams like Arsenal. Learn from teams like Manchester City. Learn from teams like Chelsea. They sign players for cheap and then they sell them for big money. Look at Savinho. It's Manchester City's club record sale. £85 million. That's a huge amount of money. The previous signing was, or the previous record was Julian Alvarez for £82 million. When was the last time Manchester United sold the player for £82 million? In fact, the most expensive sale they've had was when they sold Cristiano Ronaldo to Real Madrid for £80 million about 17 years ago. How about Arsenal? When was the last time Arsenal sold a player for that amount of money? So when you invest money in buying players, it is expected that when you sell them, you also make a sizable chunk of profit on those players. So at the end of the day, you can balance your books and you can also have more money. You can dip into the profits, add more money, and then get other players. That's how the football business works, isn't it? All right, let me begin to take your calls on the show tonight. 0807 907 1941. 0807 907 1941 is the number to be a part of the show. Just call me up and feel free to ask any question you want to ask as far as transfers or anything making the rounds in the world of sport. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Are you there? All right. Try to call back. 0807 907 1941 is the number for you to be a part of the show. Call up and tell me. Feel free so that you not say, Julian, you did not open the phone lines very early. Or I've done that now just to accommodate as many calls as possible. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Julian.
Good evening. Name and location. Welcome to the show.
Arsenal doing any signing.
Who?
Arsenal.
So, which other signing again una won't buy? You never buy enough. With this kind of squad we una get, una still don't add other players. Hey, Arsenal, me una take am easy. You
have to replace him now.
Who do you have to replace? Martinelli?
Martinelli now.
Okay.
They want to sell him.
Okay. There is Eze now. Eze. They say Eze if he play that side now.
I thought Arsenal is going for somebody. That is Juventus man now.
Kenan Yildiz. Juventus, that one a long shot. Or Juventus say the guy is not for sale. Not for sale.
What of Alvarez now?
Alvarez, well, there are still talks, but from what I've noticed and what I've found out, Alvarez's preference is to go to Barcelona, not Arsenal.
Okay, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution on the show. Although things can still change. Things can change. Alvarez's mind can be turned And because the thing is, Atletico Madrid don't want to sell Alvarez to Barcelona. Remember when they were doing the Real Madrid elections, Florentino Perez said that there's going to be a big money signing or a 150 million pounds offer that will be made on the table for a player. We were thinking it was going to be Michael Olise, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be Alvarez. And Atletico Madrid said, you guys are joking. Are you guys high? How do you think we'll carry Alvarez and give you? As how now? Do you think that is possible? They were making a caricature of Real Madrid and Barcelona. So they don't want to sell Alvarez to a rival club in Spain. They can sell him to any other club that is outside Spain. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? Okay, all right. Just try to call back again. 0807 907 1941. So it's going to take a whole lot for Arsenal to sign Julian Alvarez. It's not going to come cheap. If you want to sign an Alvarez, it's going to come for almost £100 million. So do Arsenal have that kind of money to pay for another player when they haven't really made a significant sale? You know, that's a long one. Hello, good evening. Yes, sir. Name and location. What's your name?
My name is Gunners Emperor.
Ubong Gunners Emperor, a.k.a. will win the league for the next 4 years.
It's a very long time. I don't hear you talk about my transfer now. What's happening?
Which transfer you want here again now? When I just want to press everybody.
I think I told you that we have to be over 4 years now.
Avi, with this team you have, you can win the league for 4 years, even 5 years, safe. You need more players.
So, you know, I will be there. But I think there's big finish. At least, so that my coach should bring somebody in that place.
Okay.
I need somebody. They're very attacking from there.
All right.
We need to continue. We need to Premier League belongs to us.
Okay, Premier League belongs to us now. You want to win the Champions League. Okay, no, Ubong, thank you very much. Your line is not so clear. If you can call back, it's fine. But I think I heard all you said, though. Arsenal will still win the league for the next 4 years, but you want the champions. That the league belongs to us now. That what Arsenal should be talking about now is champions. We don't pass the era of whether we'll go win the league or not. No. Well, the conversation is about the Champions League. That's what it is now. As far as the Premier League is concerned, nobody go see our back. Nobody. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Name and location.
My name is Felix. I'm calling from Jalingo, Taraba State.
Your name is Oliver.
Felix.
Okay, Felix. Okay, and you are calling us from Taraba.
Yes.
Hey, Jalingo. This one makes sense. So you are hearing me live and direct from Taraba State.
Yes.
That's you're a first time caller. Oh wow. Thank you very much for joining. So the signal is very clear in Jalingo.
I am enjoying your show every day.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
So I am a Manchester United and I am happy for hearing about we signed Baleba, but our problem now is left back.
Left back. Oh, that's the problem. Oh, hey, Carrick.
Yes. I am enjoying your show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felix. All right, keep calling. All right, keep calling. Always call whenever you listen. All right, I got you. All right. So I've spoken to Michael Carrick about getting Carlos Baleba, and he listened to me. After I call him. First of all, the pick call. I was calling. The guy just busy my call. One day he now picked the call and said, "Julian, you've been calling me. What's going on now?" I said, "I'm not a Manchester United fan. No, I don't support any club. Oh, but my callers, I love them so much. So I feel their pain, and as they tell me, say, as I'm feeling their pain is my pain." So Carrick, they said they want a midfielder. Go all out to get. As they worry you, they worry the Ineos group. Go and worry them because the money will not come from you. It will come from them. So just tell them what you want. That this is what your fans of the club are asking for. So they have gotten Carlos Baleba. So please, Carrick, go and tell the Ineos group, or unless I'll call them directly. Or I get their number. I just want follow due process. And I don't want to jump the gun. So make I first follow you talk. So Carrick, call Ineos group. Call them this night. Omar Berada, Jason Wilcox, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. You people should have a meeting that the fans are asking for. Just one more signing. Only one. Just one. If you bring in this signing, will not disturb you again. Carrick, if I call you again, block me. If I call you again after you sign left back for Man United fans, I will don't even pick my call again. So please, Michael Carrick, go and tell the Ineos group that you want a left back. You cannot bank on Luke Shaw. You cannot hang your hat on Luke Shaw. There's Champions League this season, no. Not be last season we will play only 40 games. You will play more games this season. So at least another 8 games is added to the 40 you played. So even though you leave the Carabao Cup and FA Cup very early, like the way you guys left last season, you have another 8 games in the league phase of the Champions. That's about 48 games. Can Luke Shaw play 48 games? The answer is no. The guy is getting a bit tired. He needs help. He needs support. So please give United fans just one more signing, one more, and they will not disturb you again till January. Or maybe till next season. All right, 0807 907 1941 is the number to be a part of the show. All right, let's talk to the next caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you with me? Okay, you can try to call back. Network play the fast one. 0807 907 1941. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Mr. Carey, spokesman. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. I'm spokesman for every club. When you people bring your matter to me, I will not take it to the respective clubs.
That's why I called you the spokesman of Carrick, man.
Abi.
You are the spokesman, so you are now Mr. Carrick's spokesman.
No, not only for Carrick, for every club, every club. It's just that I will not speak for Arsenal. Do you know why I will not speak for Arsenal? Arsenal fans they are wicked.
They are happy.
Very wicked. Very happy. With the kind of squad they have, they are still looking for one more signing again.
It's a normal thing in life, man. You can never be satisfied. Yeah, so that's life for you. Maxwell, by the way.
Maxwell, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. This Carlos Baleba's signing is a good one. Mm-hmm. The twist concerning this stuff now is, if we had signed Ederson, who would have now been the seat of this Carlos Baleba? I mean, we wouldn't have signed them.
Or maybe if you had signed Ederson, you would not have brought in Andre Santos.
Are you sure?
It's just that Santos is a cheaper option. That's why United quickly snapped him up.
Because I don't just understand that. Because that Ederson issue, I had to go through that Ederson story, and there are so many things involved.
Yes. Medical failure.
Not just the injury, not even just the medical. It's not just the medical, because I had to go deep into the story, and I had to follow stories about it. So I was thinking it was just medical, but it's not just the medical. They use the medical as an excuse. So with what I was hearing, I heard that the agent was now bringing some different clauses, like him doing a pattern and asking for extra bonuses.
Okay.
That's why they have to just use the medical stuff.
Hello, Maxwell. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. It was part of it, but they just had to use that one as the front page news.
Okay.
So I don't know if we had signed Ederson. Probably, I don't know. I mean, you have a point that probably wouldn't have signed the Santos. So I'm very happy with the news, because at least Baleba will give us what we need.
All right.
You can trust the black man when he's saying that defensive it's not overhyped. Once he's a black man in that position,
I know. Even the black man self can turn to be a flop.
No, I know, but have you noticed that white prefer black men in that position? I don't just know.
If you begin to check, it varies. But I understand you. Okay, in terms of strength, you are saying in terms of strength. Okay, no wahala.
Yeah, in that position. I don't know.
Okay.
Just look at us and just put us in that position.
All right.
We have the energy to do that work. So I'm very glad with the news. My own is Carrick should just find.
Oh, sorry about that, Maxwell. Maybe not because you don't talk the aspect of color. It doesn't have to. I don't think it has to do anything with color. I mean, Arsenal's defensive midfielder is not black, isn't it? A lot of clubs who have defensive midfielders who are not black, and it doesn't really have anything to do with race or with color or with wherever you're coming from. It has to just do with getting the job done. Somebody who can get you the job done, whether it's black, whether it's white, whether it's green, whether it's red, blue, yellow, whatever, brown. The coach will go for the player. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Julian, AJUNWA.
Yes, sir. Name and location.
The best Nigeria Fabrizio.
Hey, whoa, don't reach like that. I don't know.
I don't give you the names, man.
Okay. Oh, it's true. I've not heard from you for a while. So, Fabrizio. Yeah. Okay.
You know, they don't do 2 days. I know they're online.
Exactly.
I think so. Congratulations to my best club first, my heartbeat Barcelona, for giving them 5-0 for fifth La Liga game. You know what? I was doing this, and this kind of thing I want to do.
They spell Elche. They just spell Elche exactly 5 letters. ELCHE Elche. EL.
Okay. No, don't mind them. That one says even material. That one. Even material.
You know that Mourinho's first El Clasico, when he came his first team, you guys gave him 5-0. You understand? So you now won't give another 5-0. Oh man, this Barcelona team good though.
And I tell you, we just work where we will go work there this season.
Exactly.
I'm talking about my club for our birthday. At the end of your news, they are giving me news since yesterday that as if it is a birthday, not there for him.
Yes, so.
Not say Barcelona not get any better left back for that place. Let them hold that ball first.
Abi?
And Geramati now, they can convert Geramati into center back. And Geramati, they do well for center back. Now, they can have Kobasi. So, and they don't get person who go help Kobasi now. They won't come carry Geramati, go return and back to that
to left back.
If they help for us. And Xavier's part does they come out.
Yes.
You don't need to stress the boy too much. You know, say injury, the worries from academy boys, when they come out, then they play too much game.
Yes.
You know, they get resting time at least for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, they know the rest. They will play 90 minutes. That thing they make, they affect players well. See James for Chelsea now. Now that kind of thing will affect James since that 2021, where James can they play over playing time for young age.
Okay.
Not the rest. So at least they for this bad day for some time. And they should do well. This transfer window don't they close. I'm not even hearing you say then they go for number 9. What's in the happen?
Well, they are still exploring different options. Although Rafinha has said he can play in that position. You know, he scored 2 goals against Elche. So he said, well, if the coach asks me to play there, I can play there.
I want me Rafinha in a normal position so that I might give my drill like 5-0 again.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, I'll tell Hansi Flick. Thank you very much for calling on the show. All right, that's Emmanuel on the show. Don't worry, Hansi Flick says, well, he will speak to Deco. You know, Hansi Flick and Deco, they enjoy a very good relationship. Hansi Flick will say, Deco, my guy, just get me this player. And then Deco will say, don't worry, I got you. And then they go and get the player. So I'm sure that Hansi Flick is telling Deco, get me a striker so that our transfer business is done and dusted. For Real Madrid and Jose Mourinho, he says, my transfer is closed. I'm very happy with my squad. Although if any player comes and knocks on my door and say, Gaffer, the special one, please, I'm not going to be part of your plans. I'm seeing the handwriting on the wall. Maybe you don't trust me enough. Please allow me to go on loan. And just so I want to play. And then he will say, okay, we'll consider it. We'll look at it. You know I'm the special one. We'll look at it. And we'll talk to Fiorentino Perez. So that's the way it is for Jose Mourinho. He says he's very okay with the squad. He doesn't want anyone to leave. But if anybody comes to his office and knocks on his door, he's open to have a conversation. All right, 0807-907-1941 is the number to be a part of the show. Call on the show and ask me whatever you want to ask, and feel free to join the conversation. If you're very okay with the deal or transfer business your club side has done, you can also call me to appreciate, because people don't know the work I do for you. You don't know the work I do for you. All the big clubs from Barcelona to Real Madrid to Manchester United, Arsenal, I have the phone numbers of somebody in those clubs. Every day they follow them talk. Say, my people, my very lovely and wonderful callers are asking that you people sign players. If you know the work, will they do midnight call or midnight, we'll talk. At the end of the day, we'll say, okay, don't worry. We'll do it for you. We'll look into it. We want our fans to be very excited. We want them to be very happy for the new season. And don't worry, whatever it takes us to please our fans, because it's the fans. During COVID, that's when these clubs realized the importance of fans. If you were watching football during COVID, empty stadium, you'll be hearing the coach shouting, track back, go and press, go and do this, do that, shoot, take the shot, pass the ball to Bruno Fernandes, pass the ball to Rashford. You go to hear the instruction because the stadium is empty. No people are not coming to the stadium to watch. No merchandise sales, no ticket sales. Everyone was in their house, watching on their different TVs, following the games on their phone. So the fans are the ones who own football. Without the fans, there is no football. Oh. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Julian.
Good evening, name and location.
Yes, Mr. Mazi, Mr. Julian.
Mr. Mazi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Julian. So I'm happy about Baleba with Manchester United, but in one way that I'm not happy with. Right back. Right back
or left back?
Okay, left back.
Okay.
I always talk about. I'll always cry about.
I know, my brother.
Manchester United to do, but it honestly, But let me ask a question: who's right left back are they going for now?
Well, the left back, their preferred choice is Lewis Hall, but their coach, the Newcastle coach, Matthias Yaisley, after the Newcastle-Liverpool game, he said, Lewis Hall is not for sale. If they sell this guy, I go come out to... People should keep... Despite the fact that he was the one that caused that penalty that day against Liverpool, he still had a very solid game. And Lewis Hall is a good player. I feel he's a good player. If I watch Lewis Hall, it reminds me of when Luke Shaw was at Southampton, while he was at that young age. That's when I watch Lewis Hall. It reminds me of a very young Luke Shaw while he was at Southampton many years ago.
Yes, why? Yes, because the Luke Shaw issue is that Luke Shaw is now is not younger. He's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So they should find a replacement for him, because if not, I don't see Manchester United doing something this season, because we have a lot of match to play. It's no longer like we all just play only Premiership that we are going to. We used to play any eke, but this one is not any deal. This one is to be Monday, Friday, Saturday we go play. So nobody the one where they go just there for one corner. They look. I don't want me the year complain, made no person not break my heart, because I be that Manchester United fan.
I understand, my brother.
Because the day that they win Manchester United, for my door, I would get Arsenal fans for my yard. I had for inside room. Nobody, they just come, they begin to knock for my door. Mr. Mazi, come out. I don't agree, come outside now. Which I won't call you. But I prefer what I will explain the next day in the morning.
No wahala.
I explain everything, give them.
Okay.
So I don't want to do that situation.
All right.
To happen. So talking about, I had one of my brother is calling from Taraba, said that he used to listen from Taraba.
Yes. We have a new friend from Taraba.
Yes, that's my origin place.
Oh wow! Thank you very much, Mr. Mazi. Thank you as well. That's so much we can take on today's edition of All Access Sports on Big Heart Radio 92.1 FM Asaba. Remember to follow us on all social media handles on Facebook and X. It is Big Heart FM Asaba. On Instagram, Thread is Big Heart 92.1 FM Asaba. On TikTok, it is Big Heart 92.1 FM. On YouTube, where you can watch all our shows, is Big Heart 92.1 FM Asaba. My name is Julian AJUNWA. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the midweek edition of Morning Sport Blitz from 7 to 8 a.m.